Yo, what is up everybody? And today we're gonna talk about 6 months later on the new Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, I'm personally a huge fan of Samsung's brand new flagship phones. The Z Fold and Z Flip smartphones are pretty cool, but I don't feel comfortable using foldables nowadays until technology gets better. But that's not the point we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about the new S22 Ultra 6 months later. The build quality is pretty good. No damages, no scratches, cracks, and the screen or the back phone and the camera. One thing I don't like about the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra in terms of design is that there's no cover around the camera lenses, which could potentially lead into cracked camera lenses if you don't have a case and not careful with the phone. To prevent that, I highly recommend getting a new case, screen protector or a lens protector. That way your phone will not be damaged depending if you don't get any warranty. It could cost you a bit of money to repair the phone by a repair shop. The design of the phone is rounded on the sides, which makes it so much easier to grip on the phone on flat top and bottom. Overall, pretty nice. I picked up a Ringke case off Amazon for $12, which is pretty cheap for a case that still offers pretty good protection. Unfortunately, I did not get a screen protector, so don't copy what I did, except the case. Now, the screen that Samsung made always put on in their flagship phones or possibly their mid-range or budget phones. They have, if not the best, awesome display they have ever made. Spoiler, RG can't even pass Samsung. Anyways, the screen is 6.8 inch with a resolution of 3088 by 1440. It also has 90% screen to battery ratio, better than iPhone, to be honest. Sorry, Apple users, I'm not hating on you, so I'm just being brutally honest. If you're wondering how can you put a deep black thing on the phone, it uses an AMOLED 2X with a LTPO 2.0 panel. It has one of my favorite things on Samsung displays, which is 120 Hz. We can go down to 1 Hz. If there's nothing on the screen, let's say you're looking at a web page or social media post, it stays at 1 Hz until you scroll. If there's anything moving on the screen, it stays at 120 Hz. Pretty nice, huh? Looking at a static page in 1 Hz, it saves battery. Sadly, according to the news online, people have been experiencing 48 Hz instead of 1 Hz, which does happen when I turn on the little Hertz counter that's inside of my developer settings. When you're watching content on literally anything on your phone, it supports HDR10 Plus, and the screen brightness can go up to 1750 nits, which is the brightest phone at the market until the new iPhone 14 models came out. I absolutely love the curved displays, which a lot of people probably don't like it, but speaking of my perspective, I love it. I get why people don't like to have curved displays like accidental touches, but I had not experienced it yet. If you want to go outside and use a phone in direct sunlight, which I don't recommend, you can crank up the phone brightness all the way up to the maximum brightness and turn off adaptive brightness, and then turn on the extra brightness, which will boost the contrast and saturation on the phone, which makes it visible in direct sunlight, and it drains the battery very quick. It also is enjoyable when you're watching content like on Netflix or Jonathan Talks Harder on YouTube or whatever you're watching. I love it, but sometimes I don't. The colors are very vibrant, but it can make it very unrealistic. In the settings app, open up display and scroll down until you see screen mode. And there's vibrant and natural. I prefer vibrant all day long because I like to watch stuff with new technology on my phone. It would also have ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is under the screen, which is so fast and super accurate. That way you don't have to worry about pressing and holding on the screen like what you do on the Google Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. I heard the new Google Pixel 7 came out, so I don't know what it's like until the 12th of October. The specs on the new Galaxy S22 Ultra is a Snapdragon 8 Generation 1. Unfortunately, that's not the Plus model like the newer Androids have. 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. 128, 256, 512 gigabyte or 1 terabyte of UFS 3.1 storage. I got the 12 gigabyte model, which is the one that comes with 256 gigabyte of storage, because the one with 128 got full quickly because I have music downloaded on my Apple Music and some apps that I use. The performance on my Galaxy S22 Ultra is the same between the time I got the phone added the bots into setup and to now. This is easily a good phone for multitasking, watching content, and so much more. I'd never experienced any slowdowns when I use the phone. Scrolling through the apps, going to each other apps back and forth, has been really smooth over the past 6 months of using the phone. I could literally use multiple apps in one screen. I could use YouTube and Amazon in split screen, and I could use Instagram as a little window, and I could have YouTube Music on the other window, which is pretty cool. It can be crammed in the 6.8-inch screen, which is not ideal in terms of screen real estate. If you want more RAM, there's something called RAM Plus, which is somewhere in settings. It can get over the UFS 3.1 storage, act like a virtual memory or virtual RAM. The lowest you can get is 2 gigabytes. It can also go up to 20 gigabytes. Also, that's pretty crazy on a $1,200 smartphone that I have here. When the phone came out, they have something called game optimizing service. It may slow down certain apps on your phone, but it will reduce more power and saves battery. I'm personally not a big phone gamer. You guys know that I'm a big PC gamer and I flip gaming PCs for profit. But I don't really notice. Samsung did push an update to turn off the game optimizing service, which is pretty nice. The phone is really good performance with tons of gigabytes of storage or memory inside of it. I do not think I have any issues on this phone from years to come, but Samsung said it would be up 4 years of software updates and 5 years of security updates, depending on when you're watching. This Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra still has a ginormous 5,000 mAh battery, and I was surprised how Samsung is squeezing an S Pen in the left side of the phone, which I'm a huge power user on a smartphone. It did not last me a whole day when I stay at home, but when I'm at school, it does last from the morning until the battery is about to die by the time dinner is about to start. So yeah. Samsung has something to do to be able to extend your battery life, which there's something called limit battery to 80%. So if you're planning on having a phone for more than 2 years, then definitely turn this on. In my case, I'm not planning on keeping for more than 2 years because I don't really use hotspot unless I get a vacation to connect my streaming bots, aka Google Chromecast with Google TV, and have Netflix in the road. I also don't use my phone 100% brightness all day. I turn my brightness manually depending on the environment. I personally don't like my phone to adjust it for me because sometimes it's not going to be on the right brightness, no matter what a phone company improves for a customer like you guys or a tech enthusiast like me. Before I even got my S22 Ultra in my hands, I bought my 35 watt Ringke Nano 2 power brick, which is 30% smaller than an average 30 watt iPad charging brick. The camera are pretty good. We got a 108 megapixel wide sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel 3x, and another 10 megapixel for the 10x. And now we get up to 100 times digital zoom. Now the front of the phone, you got 48 megapixel front facing camera. When you use the camera straight out of the box, it'll be default at 12 megapixel on the wide angle lens. But you can also change to 108 megapixel on the top part of the camera app, which it does take up more space when you use 128 megapixels. Doesn't seem to be noticeable unless I zoom in the picture. There are 3 times zoom, which looks pretty nice, 10 times zoom, ultra wide, and the best part, 100 times zoom. Looks pretty decent, right? Yeah, but I got that 100 times zoom may look like less quality, but hey, phones today don't have 100 times zoom, the optical zoom yet. But phones can go up to 4K at 60 FPS or 8K at 24 FPS. Samsung has a lot of modes inside the app, which I'm not going to tell you everything, but the one that I'm going to tell you is that they have a Pro mode, which makes the phone act like a Sony Z1 camera, Canon DSLR point and shoot camera, or maybe a GoPro if you get the right settings on it. To be honest, I don't really use Pro mode, but unfortunately I just use the regular photo or video just to make quick shots and videos. Overall, the camera's pretty good. Next, we're going to talk about the Android operating system that has One UI skin on top. Samsung One UI is okay, but this phone is on Android 12 and One UI 4.1. Despite all the features that are pretty good on Android, a stock version of Android would have been nice, but hey, Samsung being Samsung, and they like to put whatever they want to do on their products. And I completely get that. But using another launcher could change the way your home screen look. Yeah, I could get the new Google Pixel phone that I would love to have all the flagship features. Being able to customize my always on display, which Google doesn't let anyone do in their software. The good thing is that it has an S Pen. It has a lot of things you can do. You can draw, set reminders to your always on display. You could write notes through Samsung Notes app. If you have a little bit more free time, you can use an app called Pen Up, which is just like a coloring book, but inside of your phone, which is for coloring. And you could use that phone. You could just give your kids that phone, and they could borrow your phone to color if they want to. You can also make you can also make your phone hook into a tripod and hold the S Pen and press the button if you're ready to take a picture of whatever the case may be. The keyboard I'm using on my phone is a Google Gboard keyboard because I have all my emails, password, and stuff like that inside of my Google account. That's why I prefer Gboard over the Samsung keyboard. You can connect your phone to your TV with a compatible protocol in order to use Samsung Dots. You slide down from the notification to the menu, click Samsung Dots, and it's going to give you a pop-up under there. So only compatible TV just to have Samsung Dots on the TV, which turns your phone into a full-blown desktop PC running Android 12/One UI 4.1 Unfortunately, I do not have a adapter that I can connect a computer monitor, connect keyboard, mouse on it. You can also have one-handed use, which is pretty nice for people who have smaller hands than me. Device care, which it tries to make sure your phone is in good shape in terms of RAM, battery storage, to maintain performance. It can monitor the other stuff through device care. With an amazing display, battery life, camera, OS, and so much stuff packed into a big phone. Now, the conclusion. I absolutely love this phone. No cons, which it did not bother me at all. My Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has been my main smartphone for the past 6 months. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be a full year with you because I'd like to upgrade my phone every year. And this is my 6th month review of my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss none of the videos I'll be uploading on future videos. If you wanna hit me up in social media, hit me up on my social media links, and it's gonna be in the description below. Peace out.